could join me for the Embrace Vitality live show. Today, we're going to be talking about the 3 types of hunger and how knowing and understanding these 3 types of hunger are the key to transforming your relationship with food. And I also have a free worksheet to go along with what we talk about and helping you overcome emotional eating and comfort eating. So stay tuned to the end to find out how to get access to that. I see a few people signing on here on Facebook and Instagram, so just say hello, drop a little quick hi in the comments when you get here, and maybe let me know where you're watching from. I just love to see who I'm talking to today. So just in case we haven't met, my name is Heather Thatcher. I'm a registered nurse, Reiki master, and the Vitality lifeguard, and for years, I've been helping people reclaim their health and vitality by refining their lifestyle. So today we're going to dive into the 3 types of hunger and spend some time talking about emotional eating and how we can start to overcome that. I see we've got Sheldon Turtle on Facebook. Hi, Shannon. And we got a couple of people here on Instagram. Hello. All right. So many of us struggle with food, and we don't eat the way that we think we should. And so we struggle to follow a healthy diet. Or maybe we just go on a diet in order to lose some weight, but then when our diet is over, we just gain all that weight right back. So did any of that speak to you? I know a lot of the people which I work with, this is often the exact words that they use when they see this. So just write in the comments, yes, if some of that stuff kind of sounded like you. Because so often we gain all the weight right back after we're finished a diet, because that way of eating was just like a Band-Aid solution. We kind of just put a Band-Aid over it. We put a temporary fix on our problem. So it's like if the bumper is falling off your car, but you just tie it back on with shoelaces and duct tape. True story, by the way. But this is something that will work in the short term, but I wouldn't expect my shoelaces and some duct tape to hold my bumper on forever, right? So when we try to overhaul our diet and make it so very different from how we're used to eating in the first place, it's like duct tape. It doesn't fix our problem, but it's just kind of making things work for right now. So this is where those 3 types of hunger come in. All right. Sorry, I just saw a couple of comments here on Facebook too. I'm from Calgary. So much snow in Calgary, right? I've been getting some pictures. I think it's a little ridiculous. All right, so yes, understanding those 3 types of hunger can be like absolutely instrumental in changing the way that you eat for the rest of your life. So not just for the next few months until you've lost those 20 pounds or whatever it is you're looking to lose, because you'll be able to stop yourself before you eat anything and ask yourself this: is this stomach, mouth, or heart hunger? And then know if your physical body is hungry or maybe if your soul is hungry. All right, so let's get into what those 3 types of hunger are. The first is stomach hunger. And so stomach hunger is actual physical hunger. You're hungry, your stomach is growling, your cells in your body need more energy. So they're sending out these little like hunger signals to your brain. And your mind says, okay, well, time to find something to eat. And this is the only kind of hunger where we actually need to eat. And when we're experiencing stomach hunger, we'll eat any kind of food, healthy or unhealthy. Although I want you to get kind of out of that mindset of labeling food like that, but we'll get into that in a little bit. So this is the kind of hunger that, like, if you're out with a friend and you say like, oh man, I'm really starting to get hungry here, we're gonna have to pick something up, otherwise the hangry is gonna show up. And they offer you like an apple or something that they have in their purse. And if you're saying like, no, that's not really what I want right now, we're not dealing with stomach hunger. But if you're like actually hungry and this friend offers you this apple, you'll be like, oh my gosh, thank you so much. Because you were actually physically hungry. So that's like the main difference here. So if you sort of get offered this piece of food from your friend and you're kind of like, odds are you're not actually physically hungry. It's a different type of hunger. Does that make sense? Let me know if I kind of made sense with you in the comments there. So of course there's exceptions to this, but we could be here all day if I wanted to get into piles of detail about this. So I'm just gonna leave it there for now. But stomach hunger, you eat because your cells are hungry. And I just want you to understand that if you're truly eating to fuel your body, that you won't turn down something like an apple when it's offered to you. Does that make sense? And so that's the dream. We probably primarily want to eat to fuel our body. And notice that I said primarily, because it's really important for us to fill our soul also, not just necessarily as often as we do. So that's stomach hunger. The next type of hunger is mouth hunger. And you know you've got this type of hunger if you walk up to the fridge, open the door, and think, what do I want? Maybe some yogurt? No, that's not it. I think I want something crunchy. Chips and salsa? No, that's not quite right. I think I want something crunchy and sweet. So when we crave different textures or flavors or sensations of food, then that's mouth hunger. So that's the second type of hunger that we're going to talk about. So often when we get this kind of hunger, this mouth hunger, we're bored. And often we're trying to find something to eat because we're bored. So if you realize that you're looking in to satisfy this mouth hunger, try and distract yourself first. So do a puzzle, read an article or two on your phone, call a friend, anything to like really stimulate your brain. And that's the key here, because turning on your TV or watching a show or something, or scrolling through the news feed on Facebook or Instagram, that's not going to work, because it doesn't require a lot of brain power. You kind of just like get to zone out and just like take it all in. But what you really need to do is something that like requires some thinking, something that's really going to distract your brain, because it's going to require brain power to switch on to another task. So you want to do something that like really takes over your brain, like a Sudoku puzzle, a crossword puzzle, reading, all those kinds of things really activate your brain, and they require your brain to focus, and so that's why they work. My second tip for this is actually from last week's live show, and it's to eat whatever you're craving in its healthiest form. So let's say that you figured out that your mouth hunger is looking for something creamy, kind of like ice cream maybe. And so try that you might. You just can't seem to distract yourself. You're trying to like do this puzzle and all you can see is like ice cream, ice cream, ice cream. Not going to work. So be gentle with yourself and be happy that you've tried to change this habit. Then go over to your fridge and get yourself a Greek yogurt instead. If you're craving fries, make yourself a baked potato and go easy on the trimmings. If you're craving chips and dip, veggies and dip will give you the same kind of crunch, but with a fraction of the calories. So to overcome mouth hunger, start by distracting yourself with something that requires a lot of brain power. Or if the craving is just too strong for you, that's okay. Just go ahead and find a food in its healthiest form instead. And just enjoy it without beating yourself up. Does that make sense? Let me know if you have any questions about mouth hunger in the comments. And then I'm going to just take a minute here. Just need to get a drink, and it's over here. 1 second. Okay. All right. So the last kind of hunger is what we often associate with emotional eating. This is heart hunger. And I'm sure you can see where this is going already, but we have so many different associations with food. Food is so much more than just food. And to make this really clear, I'm just going to invite you to do this little exercise with me. So I want you to close your eyes and just pay attention to the first word or two that pops into your mind when I say the following foods. Popcorn, ice cream sundae, apples, pizza, shiokara, Brussels sprouts, potato salad, liver and onions, cake. All right, open your eyes. And how did that go for you? Because I bet you that certain foods had certain associations. So how many of you thought of a movie theater when I said popcorn? Write yes in the comments if you thought of the movies when you heard me say popcorn. I bet you that some of you thought of a celebration or a birthday party of some kind when I said cake, right? So hit the like button if you thought of some kind of party when I said cake. I'm sure we have other words pop into our head like healthy or unhealthy, good or bad, maybe even like yuck or gross if like liver and onions and Brussels sprouts aren't your thing. Or maybe what the heck is that? So one of the words which I said was shiokara, and that is actually a real Japanese dish. Google it if you don't believe me. So unless you're from that culture or have traveled to Japan and tried it, odds are you don't know what it is. Shiokara doesn't have any associations for you. You don't have anything associated with a particular food. You don't have any memories, no judgments, no labels. And that's how all of us started with food. Because as children, we didn't know that pizza parties were a thing, or that potato salad was a picnic staple, or that movies and popcorn go together. It was just food. And so if you only take away one thing from today's show, I want it to be this. Food is just food. It does not have the power to be healthy, unhealthy, good, bad. It has no power. It only has the power and associations that we give it. So if you could only take away one thing today, remember, food is just food. And so I want to challenge you to start paying attention to the foods that you eat and the labels that you give them. So do you eat a chocolate bar and find yourself thinking, oh, this is so unhealthy? Yes, it's true. Eating only chocolate bars will not fuel your body and you won't be feeling too great after a while. But is that one chocolate bar really going to make you unhealthy? No. It's just a chocolate bar. But again, maybe we've learned to associate chocolate with comfort food or feelings of guilt. And all of these different things are just stuff that we've learned to associate with a chocolate bar. So give me a heart in the comments here if chocolate is one of your comfort foods, because I know it's one of my indulgent foods for sure. Have you ever caught yourself saying something like, oh, I had a really long day at work. I deserve a chocolate bar, or I deserve ice cream. Why is this? But like I said, as children, we didn't have any associations with food, but we've learned these things. So when we had a rough day at school or the soccer game just tanked, our parents would likely offer us comfort with food. They'd take us out for ice cream. They'd make us our favorite dinner or pick up a chocolate bar for us. We've learned to associate the need for comfort, connection, and love with food. So when we've had a rough time, we want those nurturing feelings. And so this is totally normal behavior. This is what makes us human. We're looking for connection. And it's what we've learned to do. And we've learned to associate these like nurturing, comforting feelings with food. Particular foods usually are comfort foods. So in order to transform our relationship with food, we need to start shifting our perspective and shifting our self-talk so that instead of saying, oh, I had a really rough day, I deserve some ice cream, we could say, I had a really rough day, I deserve a foot massage. Or I deserve a bubble bath because I dealt with a pile of grumpy people today. Or I deserve to take the evening off and just relax or read or watch a movie. Laundry can wait. How do you think you could do this? Do you think that this would be possible for you to maybe start to think about changing your perspective and changing the self-talk that you have? What could you do instead of rewarding yourself with food? And so this seems like a really simple shift. And I promise that it is, but it's going to take a little bit of practice and some planning. And don't you worry, I've got you covered there. I've created a free worksheet for you, and I've given you over 100 different ideas that could help complete that sentence. I've had a really rough day. I deserve fill in the blank. I've given you over 100 different ideas to fill in that blank there. Plus, I give you a fillable worksheet where you can create your own plan for when you have heart hunger or when you're looking for those comfort foods. And I really recommend that you keep a copy of this plan on your phone, and then also a copy maybe on the door of your fridge or like on the pantry cupboard where you usually go and get your snacks from. Because that way when you're walking up to the fridge to get a snack or prepare some food, you can remind yourself to stop and ask yourself, is this stomach, mouth, or heart hunger? And then if it is anything but stomach hunger, what would you feel would work instead for you? What could you do instead of eating? Because if you're bored, or if you're tired, or if you're experiencing some difficult emotions, food is not the answer. Nurturing yourself is the answer. And so make sure that you really go into some detail here when you create your plan. Don't just say like, oh, I've had a long, rough day, I deserve a bubble bath, because a bubble bath isn't going to work for you all the time. It's not going to work for you if you're at work. and that vending machine down the hall is calling your name, right? So come up with a bunch of different ideas. So when the time comes, you have your list already done and ready to go. So if you'd like that resource to help you sort of come up with your heart hunger plan, or your boredom eating plan, or you're like, I'm exhausted, but I'm just gonna order pizza instead eating plan, then go and you can sign up at www.heatherthatcher.com/live. You can sign up there. Or if you're watching on Instagram, you can go to the link in my bio and sign up right there. And if you're joining me on Facebook, I've just started creating with some new technology a way that if you type in the words heart hunger into the comments, HEART space hunger, HUNGER, you'll get a note in Facebook Messenger, and it should be sent to you right there. So fingers crossed I did it right and set up. But if you want to get that, then you can definitely sign up right there. Sound good? Thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate the time you spent with me, and I hope that you found what we talked about to be really helpful. And if you did, then please like and share this video and spread the word to help others too. The replay will be up, so definitely catch that if you're joining a little bit later. There's a bunch of people that are joining on Instagram in the last couple minutes here, so the replay is going to be up, so you can definitely watch it there. Next week on the Embrace Vitality Live show, we're going to talk about anxiety and worry and how we can worry the right way so that it's helpful and healthy. And there actually is a way to do this. And it's one of the techniques that I give to my one-on-one clients all the time. And I've used it for years in my career as a registered nurse, and it is an absolute game changer. So definitely join me next week for that. Alrighty, so I work the night shift tonight, so I am off to sleep, and I hope all of you enjoy the rest of your week, and we will see you next week. Bye!